What's going on, everybody? Welcome to, can you believe this? Episode number 52 in Spanish. That is 52.
Yeah.
You were going to do it.
Spanglish. Welcome to episode 52 on the podcast known as Leadership Lean In. We are leaning into the subject of leadership just to get a little bit better. We're not going to change everything about you, but we are going to change something about you. And I'm joined today by two friends, two people that are going to help us in our leadership. By the way, this is the reveal. This is the first one on the YouTube.
Welcome.
When I was growing up, I never thought I would have a YouTube channel. But when I was growing up, there was no such thing as YouTube.
No.
But we're moving.
Yep.
We've moved.
Official.
Welcome home.
Usually I hate moving, but digitally it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You just post it on a different account. We have moved from the Zoe Church LA,
Right.
is what that YouTube's called, over to my YouTube account.
I love
It's
it.
a big one.
And
Big day.
we decided to do my name.
Yep.
Rather than Leadership Lean In,
Yes.
because we can post other things.
You
different
never know.
like,
You never know what's going to drop on this
you
page.
never, like, I mean,
So
you know,
much advice could come from you. And
And
not
what
just
if I
leadership.
woke up one day and was like, I want to put up on the YouTube, I want to make a song and I want to rap.
Oh,
Please do.
That would be
Cooking.
I'm throwing
anything.
out-
the minute you start like linking SoundCloud
Yeah.
and like
Oh.
YouTube, it's going to go
I
in a
could see
different
you being
direction.
big on SoundCloud if it was there in high school.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would have definitely
Chatty V.
crushed a
Chatty
SoundCloud.
V on the ones and twos.
So for those of you that are joining us on the video,
Yep.
make sure you subscribe because we got to go from 20 to 30 subscribers here pretty quick. I have no idea how many we're at. I'm just being facetious, but make sure you subscribe, make sure you comment, make sure you share it out. We have a YouTube now. Thank you to everybody, the OGs that are on Spotify, that are on Apple. Maybe you're on a run right now. Maybe you're on a walk. Maybe you're driving into the office, whatever you're doing. We know we have groups of people that listen to this podcast. Thank you to everybody that posts about Leadership Lean In, tags us. It means the world. We're getting the message out. And this is a passion project. This is a passion thing that we do here at Zoe, really together. It's a whole team of people that put this on. When I say team, I mean Aaron's here and Drew's doing the audio. But we do this because we are passionate about leaders.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was quoting this at staff this morning. We're recording this on a Tuesday, by the way. But Craig Rochelle, every podcast, what does he say? When the leader gets better, everybody gets better.
Yeah.
And so we want to help. We want to give everything we got, tools, resources, and we're mixing it up. We're doing one of these, which I really like,
I like
talking.
it.
And so we do we do one of these,
Yep.
and then we do a teaching. And I think we're on a good track.
We're flowing.
I'm building more confidence into this Leadership Lean In because we have vision and direction.
Yes.
And
we
I'm
do.
trying my best to be like Joe Rogan. Okay. Let's I'm kidding. Come on. I had to say it.
Okay, I knew
It's
it
2
was
episodes in a
coming.
row. We
I
dropped
knew it.
Joe Rogan. Okay, Erica.
Yes.
Take us away. What are we doing today?
Okay, we're doing something fun today. We have some questions to ask.
Yes.
We're just going to go through
Love it.
some.
I like it.
Obviously, we're talking about leadership.
Always.
As leaders, you're always building leaders, growing in your teams.
Failing, but yes.
Yeah, right. Okay, so when you're building a team, when you identify this person's a great leader, when do you feel like it's too early to let somebody lead?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Uh,
We're going right into
This
it.
is,
Yeah,
well,
Let me,
this is,
like,
yeah,
warm
this
up
is
with the
great. No, I like
story.
that. Well, right away, what jumps out to me is like this term spiritual novice. So, you can't build in our work, church, you can't build church with a spiritual novice.
Right.
So the Bible would speak very clear to this. Like, you can't lay hands on no man suddenly. So what's that saying? You can't put someone in a position of authority or promote them or put them on a platform too early.
Yeah.
We've got to make sure, to use a CarMax term, you got to kick the tires. You got to.
I didn't know that there were CarMax terms.
Yeah,
I
CarMax.
didn't
Yeah, I
either.
can see the
That's
sign right there off Manhattan Beach Boulevard. But you gotta give people time to develop,
Yeah.
time to mature. Building church in our line of work, building church with people that are tested and proven, that's just,
Right.
that's easy.
Right.
It's night and day. So I think when it comes to promoting leaders, advancing them, using them, platforming them, you've got to see. I always think this about church. Someone can fool me for 6 months.
Wow.
But after 6 months, I kind of know
What's going on there?
this person has the C's: character, competence, charisma, chemistry, all the stuff that really matters. And so I think if there's ever a regret, it's like what we say to dating people, right? Don't use that L word too early.
Whoopsies.
Don't drop that L bomb until it's like
Whoopsies.
we're past the 6 month. It's probably a good
My gosh.
month time. 6
Yeah.
months of dating. You
Wait.
drop that 2-3 months in.
No.
When
it's
did you
done.
tell Julia?
This is great.
Wait, did you
This
tell
is
her
great.
first? You knew this was
Of
coming.
course, I told Julia I love you, and she patted me on the back. Yeah, no, she patted me on the back,
you
and she
serious?
said thank you.
At least you said thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Later that
that's
night,
that's like I love that for you. You know.
later that,
At least you didn't say I know.
which is
Oh.
also close cousins to you're the best.
Yes.
You
They're really-
never want
You're
someone
the
to say
best.
you're the
You're the
best.
best.
I don't trust anybody that says that. But I think it's like you got to be careful to rush. It goes back to my favorite book we were just talking about, The Ruthless
Yes.
Elimination of Hurry.
Yes.
And John Mark Comer would say in that book, everything I've ever done in a hurry, I've regretted.
Mhm.
I'm never proud of anything that I've rushed.
Yep.
So yeah, I think having that discernment, having that, because I find this about leadership that it's so true. So often we think somebody's going to soar and they flop.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
so I got to find out, give them a little bit of responsibility,
Yeah,
give them
totally.
a little, can you handle this? Watch, learn, discern, coach, train. And then once it's the whole saying, we move really, really slow. So when it's time, we move really, really fast.
Yeah.
So I'm only moving slow because my hope and desire is that eventually we can move fast.
Yeah. Do you feel like there's like a make or break for a leader? Like as you're watching someone on your team and you're like, oh, it's a no for me at this point. Is it like the 4
Lorraine.
C's you're talking about? Or like, do you feel like it's your gut that
Well,
This
I
person's not
think,
gonna cut it.
I am never concerned with mistakes.
Mhm.
I'm never concerned really with conflict. I'm only concerned with repeated mistakes
Mhm.
Yeah.
and the inability to have conflict resolution.
Yeah.
So the red flag for me wouldn't be, whoa, they posted something. Whoa, they had an outburst of anger. Or you saw this kid, I don't know if you saw this, but last Saturday, this kid from Ohio State, he had been playing in a lot of games. He had some playing time. He didn't get in the game. So he went and subbed himself in the game.
Oh.
Well, he's a linebacker. And the other linebacker's like, bro, get off the field. So he gets off the field. He throws a tantrum. He's going to the tunnel. He's going to walk out. Really demonstrative. The coaches are trying to get him to come back. Long story short, he goes on Twitter after the game and he says a bunch of bad stuff about his university. And, he goes, I love my teammates, but I hate the school coaches kind of deal. Well, the next day they dismiss him.
Yikes.
So when they dismiss him, my first thought was that incident didn't get him dismissed.
Right.
Right.
You don't kick a
Something-
guy off the team because he had an outburst.
Right.
If he was a good guy, a good teammate, proven, spring training, ball, we want to keep this guy.
Mhm.
So my point is, I think what would be a make or break would be for me, do I keep having to deal with the same
Mhm.
issues with this person? So it's
Right.
not a one-time offense.
Mhm.
I can get over a one-time offense.
Sure.
We can work through that. And a lot of times I end up trusting the person more by the way they respond
Yeah.
to correction.
Yeah.
It would only be for me, the break would be going, I keep dealing with this attitude or
Yeah.
lying or deviant behavior, fill in the blank.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like leadership is like a personality trait? Or do you
Ooh.
think like how do you identify are they the most charismatic one in the room? Can you be introverted and be a leader?
Great.
Yeah,
Like
that's
I
a
feel
great
like
question.
these are questions.
I don't know. What do you think?
First of all, I was more nervous to tell Joy I love her than I was to propose.
How long did you take?
That
to
is a
say-
great point.
You
Because
should be.
by the time you get the engagement ring, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
We know
Yeah.
what the
It's-
answer is.
She's not going to say no.
I just was like, I figured the "I love you" statement was a proposal. Like if
That's-
I'm telling you I
Oh,
love
yeah.
you, then It means like
Yes.
we're doing this thing.
It's real.
The
We're
L
going there.
bomb is a bomb.
So
There's
you
no
sh-
turning back.
Did
There's-
she say it right away, or did you get a pat on the back?
She said it back, Erica.
My man.
She didn't take my last name, but she said I love you back.
Shots
I had to do it.
fired.
I had to do it. Okay,
Oopsies.
I love the first. Can I just say one thing on the first question?
Yeah.
I love the lead. I think we ought to have, as like people that oversee things or leaders, have varying degrees of opportunity to allow different leaders at different stages to have a go.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So if someone does fail
Yeah.
or someone does mess up, they haven't messed up the entire thing,
Yeah.
right?
That's it.
Yeah.
Because if you give someone the opportunity to lead and they lead and they mess up and the whole thing is ruined, that's your fault, not their fault.
Mhm.
You've not set them up to have a go. So
Yeah.
we should set people up to have a go to where it's like managing the fail. So I know if I give a new leader an opportunity and even if they mess it up or if it's not perfect, it hasn't ruined the entire thing.
Yeah.
That's
to
it.
give that,
That's it.
you got to give people some wins under their belt. You got to give some people some manageable losses
Yeah.
under their belt. So, and then the young, we obviously at Zoe, and we love to let young leaders
Yeah.
lead.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I think part of that is knowing at what level and when
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
where and all that. But the other question about charismatic leaders, I love this because for so long, I felt personally like I could not be this stereotypical leader because
Mm.
I did not fit those boxes.
Mm.
I was not the loudest voice in the room. I was not the most charismatic person in the room. Very introverted,
Mm.
like middle child, basically, to a T. You could say. So really, this could be asked: can middle children
All
be
those middle
leaders?
children out there, you can be a leader.
Yeah, YouTube title.
Because
Can
you're
middle
right. Because the
children lead?
oldest for sure. That's a just foregone
You're
conclusion.
the oldest, right?
Yeah, I'm the oldest, and the youngest.
Yeah.
Yeah, the youngest just bursting with confidence.
It's
'cause they've
almost
been
like
spoiled their whole
The
life.
youngest is the one that has like the natural ability to lead it. It's the oldest, like we just force it on you because you got to
Yeah,
take care of
yeah.
your
Yeah,
siblings.
Yeah.
You got to make it happen.
Right, right.
So I think no, obviously it would be my
Yeah.
answer. Like
Yeah.
I don't think that there is one type of leader.
No.
And I think as we are leaders of leaders, we have to be good at letting different types of leaders lead
Yep.
and highlighting and not putting on a pedestal like they're better, but like showing people, hey, we value different types of leadership
That's right.
here. And don't be fooled don't just listen to the loudest person in the room.
Right.
Right? Like, don't just give an opportunity to the one that has the most talent that you immediately identify.
Right.
Right.
Mhm.
Like, we have to be good. I just think about the Bible story of like when the prophet came, he came to all the brothers to figure out
Yeah.
who was going to be the next king. Like, he saw even the prophet got it wrong. He saw
Yeah.
the oldest brother. He is the
It's
most
gotta be that
handsome.
guy.
But I think like take your time.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful that someone took their time to dig leadership out of me.
Right.
And there's things that I had to overcome because I think
Mm-hmm.
as a leader, you have to be able to have a conversation.
Yep.
You have to be able to have
Yes.
confrontation,
Right.
which is
Yeah.
something that I had to work at. So
Yep.
I think there are traits of a leader that all leaders should have, but you don't need to have them like from birth.
Yeah.
They don't need to all come easy to you,
Yeah.
I guess is how I would say it. So if there's parts of leadership that don't come easy to you right now, that's fine. That doesn't mean that you can't
Yeah.
be a leader.
Right.
That doesn't mean that you shouldn't let people think that you're a leader.
Mhm.
That just means you know what you got to work on.
Right.
But I think leaders can, and I love that. I think you see that you see that in business, you see that in
Yeah.
the church. Like there are
Yeah.
different types of leaders that have been successful, and it's just I think also defining what does it look like to be successful.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
Doesn't
Well,
have to
yeah,
be the
and
same.
I think you have to define. Okay, so what is a leader? What
Mhm.
is leadership? Leadership is influence.
Hmm.
So look at culture. You know, does one personality have influence in culture?
Right.
Like I think about guys like let's just take David Letterman and Jay Leno.
Mm-hmm.
David Letterman, they say when you did his show, he would never come say hi to you. He wouldn't interact with you until you got on stage. He's very introverted.
Wow.
Turn on the camera,
Yeah,
he's
I would never
amazing.
guess that. Yeah.
But he's an introvert. And Jay is the opposite.
Yeah.
He's gregarious. He's
Mm.
got a massive personality. He's gonna go into your dressing room and say hi and
Yep.
laugh, smile, take photos with the family, blah blah. So which one is right?
Right.
You know, it's to me, it's what I love about the Christian horoscope Enneagram.
Yes.
The
Let's talk about
Enneagram
the Enneagram.
reminds us that no matter what your personality
Yeah.
is, it's about being confident and secure in your own skin.
Right.
Yeah.
And that allows you to have influence, whether you're a 2 or an 8 or a 7 or a 3 or a 4. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what personality you have.
Right.
What matters is being confident.
Yeah.
Been saying this a
Secure.
lot on Sundays. I just can't get over this line. People don't follow the competent person. They
Right.
follow the confident person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So however your personality is, leaders come in all shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
Leaders come in all different ethnicities. But being confident and secure in who you are and the way God made you,
Mhm.
that's what allows you to be a great leader.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another Craig Rochelle line, right? He always says at the end, is it be yourself.
Yep.
People would rather follow the real you
Yeah.
than have to deal with the fake you. So I think that's when you can get lethal as a leader of going like, I can celebrate the differences.
Mhm.
I can celebrate their wins and successes. I'm happy God made them loud or quiet, linear or artistic, doesn't matter. But man, do I love being me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And man,
Exactly.
do I love the contrast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we need more leaders that are happy to be the contrast.
Yeah.
I love that.
I don't need
thought.
more of the same,
Yep.
but your different view and your different voice and your different expression, that's what makes a beautiful picture.
Yeah. I was
It's
gonna say
contrast.
like you reproduce who you are.
Yeah.
So a lot of times if you are pretending to be a secure leader, you're just going to reproduce like a bunch of shallow
Yeah.
people behind you who aren't quite sure who they are either.
Yeah.
But when you embrace who you are and you're like, this is who I am and this is how I know how to lead, I'm going to help pull out your gifts and help you how to lead. You're so much more confident.
That's
It
right.
actually reminds me of what you talk about. Your mom would always tell. Would she write you notes?
Yeah,
lunch
every
notes?
day in my lunch. Yeah.
She-
That's
yeah,
amazing.
and
Me and
like
Paul-
like you're the best,
Yeah.
and then you like always grew up like I'm the best.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
What if you were that leader for someone that was
Yes.
telling them like you're the best,
You're the
the
best.
best leader in the room.
That's right.
What confidence can do. to
Well,
a
and
leader.
think about, Colin Henderson was saying this. I don't know if he said it on Leadership Lean In or to the staff,
Mhm.
but he was saying 70% of American adults deal with imposter syndrome.
Yeah,
I see it.
So
Totally.
imposter syndrome says, I see a leader and I so want to be like them so I can dress like them, talk like
Mhm.
them, act like them, but I'm not them and they know it. But even worse, I know it.
yeah,
Yeah.
So there's no authority, there's no confidence, there's no
Mhm.
security. So getting rid of the imposter syndrome. By the way, I just saw this great clip about self-confidence. And self-confidence comes from self-trust.
wow,
And because I have integrity and character, and because I do what I say, the more that I do what I say, that's what I love about these challenges.
yeah,
The more I do what I say, I build trust in myself. And the more I trust me, others will trust me.
yep,
Mhm.
The more I believe in me, and it's crazy how this works, others believe in me.
yep, exactly.
So it goes back to going like, this is my personality.
Mhm.
This is the cards have been dealt. And I'm going to have great character and great integrity because I know with that, I'll trust myself.
Yeah.
I have no shot at asking other people to trust me if I don't trust me.
Yeah.
So it's all connected together back to, Help I Work with People. The other day, this lady at church, she was like, I just read Help I Work with People because I'm in sales and I thought this was going to get better, help me work with others. But the whole book's about me and how I'm supposed to get better and I'm the problem and I'm awkward.
You're like, yes.
And I just like, that's leadership.
Yeah.
Leadership's about figuring out how to lead this person.
Yep.
The rest gets really easy.
Yeah.
I love that. Speaking of challenges, have you thought
Ooh.
about your October challenge?
Oh,
Coming
yeah.
up.
It's called a segue.
Yeah.
It's
So,
just so
so
well
by the time
defined.
this airs,
Yeah. Yes, it's gonna be October.
this will be already out.
Yeah.
So I'll just say, I know for certain, when you're listening
How-
to this, it'll all
yeah.
be out. But I know for sure I'm doing scripture memorization.
Oh, I love that.
Great.
'Cause we haven't done that
not
yet.
I'm gonna do that.
I'm doing a diet, like a
What kind?
specific eating plan.
Oh,
Any
Yeah.
ideas yet?
are you gonna have someone make it for you? Or are you just like
no.
flowing?
It's like how like we do the Daniel fast.
Okay, yeah.
It's like those
Okay.
that one of those eating plans.
Okay.
And then the big one for me is
I'm
I
like,
can't believe
I'm
I'm
like
gonna
so
say it.
excited. Oh my gosh, I'm like scared.
I almost went off of it for the whole month,
Mm.
but
Oh,
I'm not
wait,
going to go
I'm gonna
off
guess.
of it.
I'm gonna
I'm not. You're not allowed to purchase it outside of your house. Coffee.
Oh my gosh.
You cannot go purchase a coffee the whole month.
My head went to sports radio because you said
Oh,
I'm gonna go
Jesus.
off for a month. and I
October's
thought
too good.
sports radio.
I almost,
Oh my gosh.
I almost went off of
Oh my
coffee the
gosh,
whole
it's
month.
So funny. Wow.
So you
That's
can
a
only
challenge.
make
That's
it.
such a challenge.
You can only make it.
You only make
What
it.
if it's bought for you? What if
Oh, then
someone
you can
hand-
have it. You can have it for sure.
if
If you buy me a coffee, I would have it.
Ryan's head.
I
I
just-
can't go buy it.
There's a workaround.
So, but if someone hands you a coffee, you'll
yeah,
take
you're not
it.
gonna
Consume.
not do
So I'm
that.
just, you get handed a lot of coffees. Is what I think. That's what I'm gonna say. Is,
Yes, Sundays, yes.
Oh my gosh.
but this is why.
Okay.
Because Julia was going, we spent a lot of money.
so
on
it has
coffee.
like, it
It's
has
a
like
financial.
It's a financial.
financial
It'd be
more than it
challenge.
is a physical.
interesting,
Got
yeah,
it.
To
It's
see
a
how much
financial.
money you save.
We want to see how much money.
Wow.
I mean, we spend a lot of money on coffee.
Yeah, same.
More than the average person. And so,
Well, I
so-
would love to know what the average person is.
So but I'm excited. It's a big challenge.
that is so
We-
exciting.
we have everything we need at the house.
yeah.
We
Which
have
is what?
Keurig.
Okay.
We have a Keurig. We have an espresso.
yeah.
And we have the French press. So I'm very equipped.
Yes.
It's going to be a challenge.
Keurig, Nespresso, French press.
Yeah, we have options.
I'm excited.
I like that you have- that's
This is a
options,
big.
yeah.
This is yeah.
I love that.
So there's a couple other things, but those are the four I know for sure.
Wait, will Pastor Julia be partaking in that challenge
She is
as well?
with because it's financial, and she's always in on the finance.
Yeah, because I feel like that
she
could
loves
cause
a
some.
goal. Actually,
if
she
one
actually
person-
wants to, and maybe this will make it in, but she wants to do a spending freeze for the month.
Okay, I've heard like no spend. Whatever,
yeah,
October,
like, and then maybe I'll put it out like the limit. You can only spend money on X, Y, Z, or like essentials.
Ooh.
It's a spending freeze month.
People
Yeah,
did
maybe
like
I
no
will
by
do
that. I kinda
July.
like
Yeah,
that.
I heard
You,
of.
you
I
know
knew-
by July. I've never heard that. I love that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about challenges. Like, I really think I'm almost done with it. It's so good. It's called "You Can't Hurt Me." This book by David Goggins.
David Goggins.
Jeez.
Yeah. Is it
Mm.
insane?
You heard of it?
No.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
It's crazy.
And it's proving the point that it's all about the mind.
Right.
And mastering the mindset. And I can do hard things because if I put my mind to it, I can do anything.
Doesn't that book make you just want to just have a conversation with him in person? Just to be like,
Yes.
are you like
Let's
look
do
him in
it.
the eye?
Yeah,
like, did
yeah,
you really
yeah.
do that?
Dude, this
Like he
guy's
talks about like the Navy SEAL training and stuff.
it's unbelievable.
It's insane.
But I was most inspired by his childhood story
Mhm.
and everything he could overcome. So I think we all know this, but leadership it's not what happens to you. It's
Hmm.
how you respond
Right.
to what happens to you.
Yeah.
We've all been dealt cards. We've
Yeah.
all had situations. We've all had things that happen in life.
Yeah.
Right.
It's about how you respond to it. And that's why I love that book.
I love that.
So October challenge.
Oh my gosh.
This is
I'm
gonna be-
excited.
this could be the best challenge.
I think it's gonna
the best
be
month.
and it's your birthday month and Julia's birthday month.
That's right.
It's an exciting month.
That's right. So I was very, like we're not eliminating bread or sugar this month.
No, you
We got
can't.
to make sure
That's
those are on the
birthday
table.
cake. You just bread and sugar is
I
birthday
can't buy a
cake.
coffee, but I can buy a cake.
Okay, let's talk about church, but more so pop culture and its influence on the church. When does it go too far?
Mm.
Talking about like services or just the way that the church is now. When do you feel like
Haze?
the
Are you
pop
talking about
culture-
haze
About haze.
machines, Erica?
I'm not talking about haze. I would never talk about haze that way.
No.
It made me think of like when we were doing youth. We
Yes.
used to do like these covers.
Oh my gosh, I
like,
was thinking the same
like a
thing.
Kesha cover or like a
Yeah,
Listen.
the Justin Timberlake 2020.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or one time I changed the lyrics to Watch the Throne.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that,
gosh.
and then we did another one. You were on the boat. It was like the lake. I can't remember what the series was.
Yeah, we've done a lot. I think that listen, there's a whole tension here for me because
Totally.
I don't think that we're called to be like culturally tone deaf.
Right.
And so I'm always like, even when it comes to the news, like I think in order for me to really speak to our church and what people are going through, I want to know what the Wall Street Journal is saying. I
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
know what CNN, what Fox News, what, the LA Times. I would read multiple news outlets.
Yeah.
So when we talk about culture, I'm not just talking about pop culture,
hmm
Yeah.
right? Just the news and
Right.
the different
What's
voices.
happening in the
What's
world.
happening in the world? Yeah, because I think the Bible is relevant for today.
Totally.
Mhm.
So the gospel, gosh, I wish I could remember this Darius Daniels line right now because Darius is the PhD, most brilliant
Literally.
scholar out of all of
Yes.
us, and he had a great line about basically saying if the gospel doesn't work now, it'll never work.
Wow.
So it's applicable.
Mm-hmm.
It's relevant for today. So I think it gets out of hand when we start maybe letting that be a bigger influence.
Right.
Like this is a cheesy saying, but I've heard people kind of preach like, we spend more time on Facebook and we don't put our face in the book.
Oh my
And
god.
everybody's like,
Ouch.
Oh
and I'm
my
like,
God.
wow, that's cheeseball central.
Yeah. Jim and Pam are freaking out in their chair.
I think what the person is trying to say is we spend more time on social media
Mhm.
Sure.
and paying attention to these things
Yeah.
more than we do the word of God, having a prophetic sense about our life, hearing from heaven. So I don't think you can be an effective minister in being obsessed with culture.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think there has to be like a real a discipline, a devotion like we're on right now, a real devotion to his word, to prayer. It's like if I go back to the book of Acts, they're like, hey, you guys are going to go like work,
Right.
but we're going to give ourselves to teaching and prayer,
Mhm.
the word of God and prayer. So to be a spiritual leader is to be set apart
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and to give yourself
Mhm.
to the things of God. So I think, is it bad that we, John Mark Comer, one of my favorite things about the Ruthless Elimination is that he's quoting Chance the Rapper.
Yeah.
And I can relate with that because,
Yeah.
I think Chance the Rapper is a really cool guy and I like what he has to say and makes really good music. So am I supposed to not ever listen to Chance the Rapper? No, I think that he's unbelievable. But I think that we have to live within the tension.
Yeah.
And I think that we can't let culture be the main influence of what the church should look like or what
Yeah.
we should be talking about. Can't let culture dictate
Yes.
what I'm
Right.
supposed to be talking about.
Right.
But if anxiety is the number one problem amongst adults in America,
Mm-hmm.
how could I not be addressing that?
Yes. Right.
Right.
So I don't know. It's so interesting. I wonder how Jesus would approach this.
Mm.
Like, I wonder, because religious people are like, he shouldn't be sitting with them. He shouldn't be
Yeah.
talking to them. He's a wine bibber. He's a drunkard. He's a glutton. What they're saying is he's being influenced by culture.
Mhm.
Right.
He's around culture. I think we're supposed to shine bright, be a
Yeah.
light, be a salt. And I think that is how people can come into church and go,
Right.
wow, the way you talk and the way that you address my life, I could tell you're in tune.
Right.
So what is the demand? To summarize, to be in tune
Mm-hmm.
with what people are going through and to be in tune with what God's saying.
Love
Yeah,
that.
and with where you're at and
Yeah.
who you are, because
Mhm.
not everyone's version of that is going to look the same.
Yeah.
Like we live in Los Angeles, and
Yeah.
based on your personality, that's how involved in culture and how that expresses itself through how you lead and all that.
Yeah.
Like if you are other parts of the world at different ages, you shouldn't be using Chance the Rapper lyrics in your messages. Like
an age
it
thing,
all
yeah.
has to. So you have to filter it through also just you.
Yep.
And like, because authentic is
Yeah.
authentic.
Yeah.
And
Totally.
that's what, if you want to be relevant, you don't have to be like
Yeah.
some pop culture,
Yeah.
whatever. You just need to be like you, right? And so I think where I've been in church services where I think they did things that were just a little bit outside of.
Give us an
like they-
example.
like
Name names.
like
Yeah.
whatever. But
Go
I
for
just
it.
think there's also a lie to be identified,
Yeah.
which is if we make the church look like a nightclub, people won't want to come to it.
What a lie.
It's just a lie. And I
Yeah.
think we are, if you want to get practical with like services and expressions, like we want our services to be attractive and we want them to be inviting and we want them to be excellent. And so, and we want them to be effective. And so that's why we do certain things in them, but we're never trying to mimic what they would,
No.
what someone would experience in culture or pop culture. We're just trying to be effective in what we do. And
Be
I think
creative.
we're not trying to, we know what is the most effective, and that's the gospel of Jesus, right?
That's
So
it.
the message is effective. You don't have to do a lot to it. Just be yourself.
Yeah.
But also just know who you are and
Yeah.
like where you're at, and then serve the people really well.
Yeah.
I also think like what's relevant. By the way, it's just a bizarre it's a bizarre pursuit to try to be relevant, by the way. It's
relevant.
so fleeting.
Yeah, it feels like a weird word.
Yeah. It's like I've never once been like, man, I really want to be relevant
Right.
in LA or relevant in the church, or
Yeah.
it's not on my radar. I think I've always wanted to have an anointing.
Yes.
The anointing is attractive
Yep.
because it's drawing people to Jesus.
Exactly.
And so I think, what makes it feel fresh, what makes it feel the atmosphere like it's on fire.
Yeah.
None of those things have to do with pop culture.
Mm-mm.
It's everything to do with the things of God and him being welcome in this place,
Yeah.
and the joy that's here, the peace that the presence carries with it, all the nuances that come with God's presence.
Yeah.
What it has got joy, it's got peace, it's got safety, it's got power.
Yep.
Everything that you would experience when you would encounter Jesus, that's what should be felt through our ministry and our
Yes.
lives. So, so I think it can get out of hand
Yeah.
when somebody's like, if I wear this outfit, or I talk like them, or if I am friends with these people,
Yeah.
or that's just a bizarre way to live.
Yes.
I think you gotta really be, I think that's where it's like, I always go back to Proverbs, where there is no prophetic vision,
Yep.
people cast off restraint. So it goes back to me always getting a prophetic vision for my life, because that's what arrests me
Mm-hmm.
with purpose and mission.
Mm-hmm.
The rest is just like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like there is a time that the church is in right now where it's changing a little bit, where I feel like maybe a few years ago, I've been in ministry since I was 19, 20. And now I'm 31. So I've seen a lot of people my age go through ministry. And I do feel like there was a time where it was like, you did care about what you wore or how all of that. And I feel like some people have to learn the hard way. It has to be more than looking cool.
Yeah.
It has to have the anointing and the power and the Holy Spirit present.
Yeah.
there.
Well,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah, of course. I think, we all learn. You learn from mistakes.
Yeah.
You learn out of youthfulness.
Yeah.
You get your motives checked. You get you get called out. You get,
Yeah.
maybe you feel like, what could have handled that better?
Yeah.
You go back and maybe as a young leader, you're looking at, your heroes in the faith and going like, I want to be like them, or, I think the most dangerous person to me is an aspirational leader,
Mhm.
someone that's aspiring to be great.
Yeah.
Because when you're aspiring to be great, you'll cut down anybody along that path.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
Because it's like, I'm aspiring to be somebody, make a name,
Right.
do something great.
Yes.
Life gets good on the other side of aspirational leadership, where you kind of land and you get comfortable. And I can look back on my life and be like, wow, I can tell I was aspiring there. I was, trying to do this, or, maybe I wasn't in the right frame of mind, or,
Yep.
you can look
Yep.
back and you take inventory over your life,
Right.
and you go like, oh, I was really in tune there.
Yep.
I think that was not very healthy. That was
Yeah.
not very good. That was not
Wow.
the best version of yourself. So I think all of us go through that.
Totally.
You learn, you learn through how do if Hebrews says Jesus learned obedience through suffering.
Yeah.
How do I learn obedience?
Right.
Suffering.
Yeah.
Where do I suffer? When your wife calls you out.
Ooh.
When your wife's like, hey man, I told you
Yeah.
it's trash day.
And
You didn't take out the trash.
You didn't take it out.
buddy. You learn
Yeah.
through the hard knocks of life
Yeah.
and leadership. So when you disappoint somebody, when you don't communicate effectively, when you have an outburst, when you fill in the blank,
Yeah.
right? So I think, yes, what you're saying is probably a little bit more specific even to our cul-de-sac,
Totally.
in our little bubble of Christianity,
Yeah.
which is a small little bubble of it. But yeah, it's like, stuff 5 years ago, 6 years ago that maybe we were even focused on.
Mhm.
You're not even focused on it now, because you're like, all that stuff doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This is what matters.
Yeah.
Souls, disciples, leaders, church. So
Yeah. And even
Yeah.
now, don't you feel like 2021 coming out of what the year has been
Yeah.
before this and the season before this, I feel like even in church, and I think it's transferable anywheres, what people used to pursue, they have realized that's just not really my priority anymore.
Yeah.
So when people come to your church, or when people go to your business, or
Yeah.
people work for you as their boss, they just want to know I have community here.
Yep.
I think the value for community has gone
Oh,
really, really high.
Totally.
And I think the value for just the authenticity
That's right.
of I feel seen here, I know who you are,
Yep.
and there's a mission here, and I can get about community, authenticity, and mission.
Yep.
I just think there's some things in this like post-COVID
Yep.
leadership church that people are like, you know what? I'm not going to church anymore to be seen or for a cool experience. I just really need community because you know what? I remember what it was like when I didn't have it.
Yeah.
And that was just a couple months ago.
That was a few months ago.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
like I'm people are coming, and I love what like the articles you've been sending the staff and like what
Yeah.
we've been talking about.
Yep.
It's just so real, and you just feel it as like the game has changed a little bit.
Yep.
People just really want what I love that the Bible and the church can deliver on.
That's right.
Which is mission, identity, and
Yeah.
community.
And community. And I think one of my favorite lines that I read recently was, by the way, all these new people, they don't know who left.
No.
They don't know those people.
No.
And they don't know what it used to be like.
No.
They only know now, and they like now.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
So I think
feel
that's
like-
so
I feel
great.
like
What
the
an
church-
opportunity.
Yeah, like I feel like the church in general is like heading in such a great direction.
I
Our
think-
church is amazing.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
yes.
in general, it's like, listen, not to be harsh, mean, or critical, COVID was mean to a lot of people.
Totally.
Mhm.
COVID served all of us some tough cards.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, how do I get through this? So I don't like it when people go, COVID separated the players from the pretenders. It's like, bro, you have no, like, that's like
Yeah.
saying, man, if I was in Adam and Eve's shoes, man, I never would have eaten that apple. It's like,
Right.
bro, chill out. You have no idea what you would have done.
No.
And a lot of people, we didn't know how to face
Yeah.
all the dopamines are removed. It's a threat to our identity.
100%.
It's a threat to our relationships. All of a sudden arises insecurity,
Mhm.
idle time.
Yeah.
That's the devil's
Well,
playground.
Yeah.
So many. So there's people that we've lost, people that aren't with us on the faith journey anymore.
Mhm.
What is our job? To count them out?
Mm.
What to make ourselves feel better?
Mhm.
Oh, I'm still in it.
Mm.
A couple of things I always think about is in Galatians, you who are spiritual, restore gently the one that has fallen.
Mhm.
So there's
Yeah.
always a gentleness to leadership.
Yeah.
And the other perfect model is out of Luke 15 and the prodigal father, who, what did he do? Waited on the porch
Yeah.
and believe they're going to come to their senses.
Yep.
I was right before we started recording, I was talking to Tommy and saying, one of our guys on staff saying, you talked to so-and-so, have you heard from him? And it's like, man, I haven't heard from this person in a year, but I'm praying for him. I'm thinking about him. And I said, come on, Tommy, we're going to pray him in. They're going to come home.
Wow.
So COVID
So
was
cool.
mean to him,
Yep.
but we're going to believe God's going to be good to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we have a shot
Yeah.
at being authentic, being genuine. And I can't even imagine, you ever go back to your phone and you look at your life before COVID and you're like, I can't believe that was our life.
Yeah.
How
Or I was that
fast we were
person.
running, or we're that. Yeah, it's like,
I had hair. I looked like Kramer.
Oh, your hair
Last
was
time I was on
long
this,
and
Yes,
last time I
that's
was on a
right.
leadership lean-in.
Yeah.
It looked like I stepped out
It's
of
gone.
a reunion tour from Seinfeld.
oh my gosh. So it's like in a great way, I hope we can all look and go, I'm a more humble person.
Yeah.
I'm more grounded. I've got my priorities a little bit more tightened down.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm a little more missional, a little more disciplined.
Yep.
In a good way.
I love what you were saying about kind of you have a trepidation when you see a leader with ambition. Because I heard someone say,
Man.
thankfulness will take you further than ambition.
Jeez.
Like if you can just live
Wow.
your life being generally thankful for everything, that will promote humility. That'll promote like you're fighting for people, not against people.
That's right.
Like thankfulness will take you further than ambition. And I think as a leader, I'm thankful for the type of leader I am.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
thankful for
Yes.
the qualities that I have.
Yeah.
And yes, I believe that there's a calling on me as a leader,
Right.
and that's great. But I know that my job is to be really thankful
That's
for
it.
what I have, where I am, who's above me,
Yep.
who's leading me, who's pulling greatness out of me.
Right.
I'll go further being thankful than I will being ambitious.
That's right. The other day, I was up in Sacramento preaching at Bayside, and Pastor Ray, shout out to Bayside and Pastor
Ooh.
Ray Johnson, and he was like, "How old are you?" And I was like, "I'm 41, sir." And he's like, "Ooh, you're just starting."
Yeah.
He's like,
Wow.
"It's just about to get fun."
Wow.
And I think what he's saying there is you're out of the aspiring stage.
Wow.
Mm.
You're becoming more comfortable. You're realizing, he said this line, I love this line. He said, "Do you want to have a platform or do you want to be a platform?"
that's
Jeez.
great.
And when you are a platform, people can stand on your platform and explode.
Wow.
Mhm.
So when I was aspiring, I wanted a platform. Now, I'm not using that language.
Right.
Right.
I'm not getting up in the morning going like, "Man, if I can just stand on that platform
Yeah.
and
have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, it took me to about 41 years old to have a YouTube channel. But you know what I mean? You're aspiring. You want to
So
step on a
good.
platform.
This is so good.
When you're older, you want to be a platform.
Hmm.
Because now it's not about what I can get. Now it pivots to what I can give,
Mm-hmm.
what I can reproduce, the fruit. You start worrying about legacy, fruit, impact. None of those things can happen by yourself.
This is such good. Like, that's like gold. I think
Oh,
you should write
thank
your
you.
leadership email about that.
Oh, let's do it.
It's
Wow.
it's such a great thought. because-
Pivoting.
Yeah, well, because I feel like a lot of people growing up my age or younger, so many people get a platform so fast.
Oh,
Like
Mhm.
that. And then that becomes what is very attractive because
Yeah.
you associate
yeah.
very quick acceleration, success, quote unquote platform, whatever. But you totally disregard like being a platform, aka serving people,
Yeah.
and letting your life serve for
Mm.
other people.
And
You just blew
yeah,
my mind.
we will write it this week. That's a great thought. And I think here's the other scary part. I was just with Chelsea Smith, who was on Leadership Link,
Yeah.
and shout out to Marriage Mondays.
Love it.
And Chelsea Smith and I were
Favorite
talking about where the church is and
Yeah.
post COVID and everything we've kind of gone through, and we were making this observation about we see people that have their gift can get them there, but their character can't
Yeah.
keep them there.
Yeah.
So in leadership, it's always that danger. We're talking
Mhm.
going back to your first question. There's always that danger where gifting can take you further than your character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But your character is what will keep you there.
Yep.
Yep.
And so on our platforms, if we're going to be a platform, who will we allow to be on platform? Well, I think that's the great thing about leadership is risky business.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
God took a risk on us.
Yeah.
And even while we were aspiring, he still used us.
Yeah.
What a
Yeah.
risk.
Yeah.
Jesus takes these guys. He's only been with them a couple years. He's like, you two go here. He sends 70 of them. And I give you all my authority. Wait, hold on. We don't know their tithe record. You're going
Yeah.
to give them all the authority? Yep. You can go preach. You can go lay hands. If they don't,
Yeah.
if they don't, treat you right, shake off the dust. Like
Yeah.
leadership is risk taking.
Totally.
Mhm.
And so I've got to, even when I'm around, because we've got aspiring leaders,
Yeah.
aspirational leaders around us,
Yep.
I've got to coach that and massage, train it and combat it with, hey, let me show you, it's so important that we just don't throw people to the side
Yeah.
because their character is not developed and their gifting is so raw.
Yeah.
Mm.
We have to engage
Gosh, I
people
love
and
that.
love people and serve people enough to go like, man, you're so dang gifted
Yeah.
and where you're going is so crazy and what's on your life is so blaring and obvious. But can I just tell you
Yeah.
Yeah.
that you're going to go places and I'm never concerned whether you're going to go there. My concern is, will you stay there?
Yeah.
Right.
So
It's-
good.
I always think this about introducing people to one another.
Yep.
I can open up a relationship with you, but it's your job to keep that door open.
Totally.
Sure.
I can connect you with somebody, but after that, it's on
It's
you.
on you.
I think God does that sometimes with us. Hey, I'll promote you, I'll advance you, but you gotta stay humble.
Yeah.
That otherwise you're gonna be at midnight at your house, should be at war. Get up, Bathsheba's taking a bath, and
Whoopsies.
you're gonna be like,
Whoopsies.
Yep.
Yeah.
that's how you get yourself in trouble.
Yeah.
It's going like I deserve this night.
Yep.
And so, yeah, it's an amazing place to be, where we can get sober about a lot of things.
Yeah. Gosh, that
That was really good.
was so good.
That was so good.
Okay, last question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna that thought was so great. I think you could talk about that for a whole entire
Let's
podcast.
do
was
it. I like
so
it.
Good.
Definitely right about
If
that.
you're listening to that, I hope you feel so encouraged. Okay, I'm gonna take a turn.
Okay.
We're gonna end this thing with a little fun.
Oh, I like it.
Oh.
We're gonna talk about. We looked up some dating advice
Okay.
from the internet.
Which is where you should
Which is
go.
where
You should
most
start.
people.
That's where you should
dating
start.
Maybe
advice.
you
Go
shouldn't.
talk to your
though.
parents.
Yeah, you should start here though. I'm gonna say a phrase
Okay.
that somebody said from the internet, and just give me like a thumbs up or thumbs down and or an opinion. Don't text back right away.
Oh my gosh.
What do you think?
So basically, they're saying the advice is to play hard to
Is to
get.
play hard to get. Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't want to ever get a text again, then don't text back. So
See, that's what would be my thing is like, so you want the genesis of this thing to be playing games.
right.
Don't
I
do it,
just,
fam.
I just don't like that.
Don't do it.
I think, again, go back, be yourself.
Yeah.
If you want to reply. If you're too busy, I understand, but be yourself.
Yeah.
Don't play games.
Maybe at the same time, don't text back like 5 seconds later. Like, don't be desperate, right? So, like, come on, we gotta say it all the time.
Okay, so we're telling
everything's
you
Listen here,
attention.
leaners. Listen
Everything's
here.
attention.
Yeah. Okay. Lying in your online dating profile is totally okay.
I think this is about being authentic and being, it's like imposter syndrome. Like, don't, you got to be yourself.
Yeah.
Don't be misleading. That's so devious.
And
And you're
also,
pr- and you're-
like,
yeah.
eventually you're gonna meet someone. Have you
Yeah.
ever seen the show Catfish?
Yes.
I haven't seen it, but I know what it is.
Okay,
Yes.
it's just a situation.
Yes.
Eventually, you're gonna meet somebody, and then they're gonna
Eventually,
know.
they're gonna be like, wait, you said you're 6'2".
Yeah.
You're 5'9".
You're
You-
5'9", and also
Yes.
you don't look like that.
You said your average income was, wait a second.
Yeah, this
why
is
am I paying
weird.
for dinner
Oh,
again?
Yeah, yeah.
Like you want people like better go the other way. Let them be pleasantly
Yeah.
surprised.
Yes.
So
What is the thing?
Downplay it.
downplay a
Under
little bit.
promise, over
Overproduce.
deliver.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like
If you're
that.
6'2",
There you
say
go.
you're 5'10".
Yes,
You know what I mean?
yes.
Okay, last one. You'll feel butterflies when it's right.
No, no.
I think
You'll-
at some point in the relationship, you should feel butterflies.
Well,
I
yes.
feel like yes, but this is like a fleeting.
Yes.
Not that you don't always feel butterflies, but I'm just saying I feel like people like, I just don't feel in love with you anymore. And you're like, what?
How about
Oh.
better than butterflies? Here's what you'll feel.
Oh, but
You will
better
feel-
than butterflies
Better.
is something
need to
in and of
brand
itself.
that.
That's a book. That's a
Yeah.
podcast.
Better than
Or it's
butterflies.
a song. Drew, write the
That's-
song.
Yeah.
Here's what it is. You will feel peace
Yeah.
when it's right.
Totally.
And butterflies will also be there,
Right.
but better is like God will give you peace.
Yes.
And when it's not right,
You
oh,
know.
buckle up, sweetie. Because you
Yeah.
know, it's like, I'm not supposed to be with them. I'm not supposed to be talking to them. I'm supposed to leave the
Whoopsies.
contact. I was supposed to do this 9 months ago, but
Yep.
fill in the blank.
Yeah.
So when
Oh,
better
wow.
than butterflies, you will feel peace when it is
Yeah.
right.
Wow.
That's true. I can tell you
Better
that.
than butterflies. Oh my gosh.
She looked like she's seen a ghost. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. That's true. Well, this has been a great
It's been
conversation.
great.
Yeah.
Love it.
Our first YouTube ever
Yeah.
on this channel.
Big
We
deal.
love you so much. Thank you again for subscribing, liking, commenting. Check us out on Spotify, Apple, and now insert my name. It's kind of weird to say your own name. Insert my name, YouTube channel. We love you. We'll see you next episode.